Hey everybody, so folks here. Wanted to give a little update on the new patch that just came out, the 1.1.107.91. Basically, they made a few changes to the game itself, which are kind of cool. I like some of them. I'll talk about them real quick. Those of you that are familiar with Poulon got an awakening. I don't have him +4 yet, so I can't do it. But basically now, when he dies, drops below 10%. We'll see if it actually hits before he dies. He freezes himself like Mia out of Overwatch, and at that point he regenerates for about 5 seconds health during that time. Not quite sure how much. Obviously, that's going to probably bring a few more people into using the healing cloak to try and maximize that heal. But basically, he doesn't take damage, he heals, so it kind of helps him be a little bit tankier. And it can only be used one time, though, each battle, so it's not like it can happen multiple times. Makes him a little bit better than he is, so that's always nice. Little Red, they did some changes on Little Red, kind of changed up her skills some. Basically, the torpedoes, she turns a different color, and it hits the people in the farthest back. Again, does do that AE damage, which is kind of nice. They did some work to her caltrops, so now it hits the people in the back row again first, instead of hitting someone in the middle or whatnot. So again, it's kind of one of those, she's a back row hitter, kind of like a Pearl. I've seen a few people use her with it. They also messed with her skills a little bit earlier in a previous patch, so we'll see if she kind of becomes a little bit more main rowish. She also does an awakening that's been used too, so I don't know, we'll see how she goes. Crash got an update. Where's my Crash at? There he is. So gotta level him up. They changed his stun. Now it stuns 2.2 seconds instead of 2 seconds. May not seem like a lot to some people, but that 0.2 seconds can mean the world of difference in a battle, between one more shot getting off or another one of your team members getting an ultimate off. Really kind of changing that. Also now, when he is silenced, his immunity to, where is it at? I gotta look. Crash override can't go off. So basically, if Blaine silences him, no longer does he have the ability to stop people from popping him up. Tartarus, they changed Tartarus to tank. Where's my Tartarus at? There he is. Tartarus on his skills. With the Soul Bash, now when you get your soul stuck out, you take a lot more damage and you're a lot weaker. So they really kind of upped the damage that he's going to do, as well as his ability to weaken people. So now basically you're going to lose at level 87 3,500 basically almost attack damage and AP. You say, how much is that? Realistically, well, my Vortex is 87. His ability power is currently sitting here at almost 10. So, I mean, he loses about a third, a little over a third, 33%, 35% of his ability power, which is huge. So, that could definitely hurt some teams. Same thing, you look at your marksman. I'll put Zoe here. Attack damage with items. Basically, you're looking at somewhere in the 9. So I mean, you're losing a huge chunk of your attack damage power, so that can really decrease how much damage you're doing. So I'm interested to see how that really changes Tartarus. He's not seen a lot of love, but I think he may make a kind of comeback, especially paired with Pagani. Kind of going from there. The new thing we want to look at obviously is we've got a few new heroes that are coming out. Lucifer. Legendary marksman. Now, I'm going to be honest. When we talk about legendary marksman, Robin's the only one out there, and he's not really a marksman. He's more of kind of that, I'm a tank with a little bit of AE. I got a few gimmicks in my bag. I got a charm, but I can't use it when I'm big, and so, it's really one of those. He's not necessarily that bad, but now you have Lucifer. This is a mid-row marksman, so it's going to be in the same line as your Gears, your Cocos. It's not a back rower like Mira or Pearl or any of those. So could be a little squishy just because of the position, but basically now does marksman damage. Now the big kicker I'm going to skip here automatically is the force skill. This is when you turn purple. Has the ability to transform when an ally crits. It raises the attack speeds and his crit strike rate at 5 layers. So after there's been 5 of those, he enters his special mode, at which point it buffs his armor, his magic resist, his skills. It adds basic attack damage and splash damage. So when you get there on him, it's going to get kind of crazy. So you're probably going to want to run him on a crit team, obviously. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays into some of those teams. It may put AD teams really more present than we see now. Of course, you could throw this with the Vortex, and who knows? I mean, good gosh, the AE combo. Let's look at the first one. Shadow Eclipse. This is the ultimate. It pops his wings out. He drops a bunch of AE damage up to 5 enemies. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, you know, it's this AE attack. How much it's going to do, I don't know. It's physical damage. During his transformation, all units in Hades will receive an attack damage boost based on their crit strike. So, kind of his passive thing is when he goes into that transformation state, everybody, or I'm guessing around him, will receive a boost. So this is where you're going to see those guys that are near him getting a huge increase in their crit and their damage, which could really pump up a team. I think you might see some Rex, you know, start popping Miras, or in some of your other 80 heroes that crit a lot around him. You have 2 other heroes plus him and a Wreck. That's 4 leaves you 1 tank, but you could do some serious damage. I don't know. We'll just have to see. The second one is the Nether Wave. This basically is an AEO damage. It's physical. When he is transformed, obviously after 5 stacks, he's transformed. That then does a stun. Now this is just a normal attack kind of thing, so it'll happen multiple times. But once he is been put into that next state, remember it's going to start stunning. So that could be pretty cool. Finally, the last one here, Nether Claw. This is just does this lash out. We are going to guess it's probably only going to hit the front row guys, because he's a mid row at first. It is an AE thing, but then after he's transformed, it may hit the mid row. I doubt it's going to hit the back row. We don't know. We can't see the true how far it's going to reach, kind of thing. It may hit. I mean, I just doubt it's going to hit back row, but it's going to be interesting to see how he plays out. Now, this again, first legendary in this kind of AD class. It's going to be interesting how it's balanced. I'm definitely going to pick him up. Also, mages. Well, they added a mage. This is a free one, Jasmine. Not quite sure. Obviously, it is a 30-30er. I don't know where Jasmine's going to come out. Somewhere Prince Aladdin is going to come along. We're going to have a genie. I don't know. No, but anyways, this is a mid-row mage. Basically, this is the one that we talk about that puts people to sleep. So the real question that we're going to ask ourselves is, how's this all going to work on the sleep team? So basically, target lamp blinds all the enemies within the darkness, or wherever it's at. When the lamp's destroyed, or if it is destroyed, then it returns. They can see. If it's not destroyed in time, then they fall asleep. So it's kind of one of those things where you know, your team has to make sure they're getting it done. You know what I'm saying? How they target, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. The second skill, Terror Shade, summons a shadow at the back, which moves to the nearest enemy. It deals AEO damage upon impact, and it puts him to sleep. It decreases as it moves. So now, one of the things that's going to be real interesting is to see teams with totems. I don't know if you can kill the shadow. I'm assuming you can kill the shadow. It would seem not good if there was no way to stop it on your own. So if your team does have a totem in the back, that might be useful then for him to get stuck on that and kind of limit how far it gets into your team. If you don't have that, then obviously it could be pretty kind of crazy. Finally, on our third skill here, it deals 1 hit damage to all enemies, and this does not awaken enemies from sleep. So, you know, normally that's what happens. You hit somebody who's asleep, they take damage. So we put this with the Tartarus, we put this with the Pagani, and we put this with her and suddenly you're doing damage to people in sleep. The Tartarus is popping out all these souls. She's hitting all the souls. This could get real crazy real quick. I don't know how they're going to balance this, but it's going to be fun. And then finally, the purple skilled Terror's Embrace. Every time they fall asleep, attack damage and ability power will increase for all allies for a brief time, and it stacks up to 5 seconds. Again, you've got 2 guys that put people to sleep. You put a Lee on there that's a third person. I don't know. This is going to be some crazy new meta that we're kind of venturing into. Really the ability to kind of lock down and kind of go from there. On top of that, they made a few other things. They updated where you can get soul stones for Pearl, Max, and Bauer. The main city, you're going to notice they kind of changed some of it. They still have not got rid of the Christmas stuff. I do not know why. But basically, they've made this new place called the Heroes Temple. Inside there, they've moved the Forge, the Beast Soul, the Dragon Prayer, the Talent, and the Rune Core Generator. I can't get to that yet because I'm not level 90. To kind of free up some of all the space that's here. Obviously, they left Sky City out here. And the Ancient Ruins. Seems really crazy to have this here because I got to go in there for my talent. I don't know. But anyway, so that's kind of what they've done there. One of the cool things they've done now with the Beast Soul is the instant win. Basically, you can instant win up to whatever your highest rank was the last week. Now, that seems kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like, if you manage to get up to that top part, it's always my phone rings when I do these. Get up to that top part, you may never have to fight a battle again, which isn't bad. But then again, it makes me just wonder how hard it's going to be to hold it, because guys could just instant win the last minute before the timer ends and kick everybody out. It's just, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, so that's kind of cool there. They did a few other things. They adjusted Magic Square's times. They increased drop gold in the Abyssal Treasure. Now when you get a Beast Soul purple component from something, pops up a giant screen. I got one today. I forgot what I got it from. Got it from something. Oh, when I spent my Beast Soul tickets. And so, I was like, yeah, I really don't need to see that, but in case you feel the need to it. So it's kind of cool. Overall, they've done some good changes. I'm interested to see the new heroes, and that's pretty much about it. Hey, if you got any questions or comments, feel free to let me know. Tell me your thoughts on the new heroes coming out. As soon as I get them, I will gladly show them off and give you my thoughts on them in person. So I will talk to y'all later. Have a great one.